Hi, it's Alison from the Law School Toolbox. Today, we're diving into essential tips for 3Ls who are gearing up for the bar exam.
Something that a lot of people are talking to us about right now is trying to study early for the bar, using the spring semester as part of their bar prep. So if you are considering doing this, what should somebody focus on?
Well, I think you have to look at your school schedule. Obviously, your highest priority is to finish your classes successfully, graduate. Those grades are going to follow you around. So I don't want people to completely blow off their classes. But I do think it's a good idea to, at least start thinking about this. You know what's going to be on the bar, kind of broadly speaking. You can start reviewing some materials from your first year. I think the performance test is always a great option. Because a lot of that is you should need to see some of them and do some of them and work through it. And you don't have to memorize anything for that. So that's always one of my go-tos for the spring semester. What about you?
Yeah. A lot of students will end up taking some sort of bar prep class or bar prep kind of adjacent class in that spring semester. I taught some of those classes at some law schools. My advice is, especially if you're going to sign up for one of those, you should pay attention. Because it always blew my mind when students in my classes, because it was a pass-fail class, would kind of blow it off or not do the assignments or clearly not put any effort. And I just wanted to kind of stand up in the front and stomp my feet, which I didn't do, but I thought about it. And kind of be like, hey, everyone, you're getting it's not really free because they're paying for law school, but this is additional prep time with someone who's giving you feedback and teaching you about the test, and you're going to have to sit for this test in just a few months. Please, please, please pay attention. So I think that that's a great example, just utilizing what your school has and getting the most out of it. And kind of that in and of itself is early prep. So I think that's really important.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I do think people don't take things like that seriously because they just feel like, oh, it's one last thing I have to do. But this is really going to save you in the summer if you have already gotten some of these skills, if you maybe already have looked at some of this material. Even things like UWorld or Adaptabar, you might get access just after the February bar. So you could actually start doing at least some MBE questions. It doesn't have to be crazy. We're not telling you to do, 20 hours a week here. But even just doing 10 questions every now and then is going to help you start to understand what these questions are like, how you might approach them, gaining you some familiarity with material. We can link to podcasts on spaced repetition, which is the idea that you need to see material repeatedly for it to be in your memory. But you could start doing something like that in 10 minutes a day, and you would have a lot of this material in your head by the time you actually started bar prep, and it would probably be a lot less overwhelming.
Yeah, I think that's something that is really hard for just generally humans. And I think also type A folks, including myself, so I'm living in a glass house, is to realize that that small investments in what I call the study bank, day over day, really start to add up. If you memorize 1 or 2 rules every day for the entire spring semester, you would have most of your bar prep memorized by the time you get to the beginning of July. I mean, it's really wild when you start thinking about that. I was just discussing this with my son. He didn't buy it either, even though I laid out the math for him. But, we are really good at kind of these small steps to kind of lead us to a goal. But if you can be disciplined about it, if you can just invest 15 minutes every day, you might be amazed at what you can get done.
I think that's so true. I really do. And I know it's hard to even think that might actually be effective. If we're probably listening to this saying 10 minutes, well, that's not going to make any difference. It makes a really big difference.
Such a big
There's
difference.
science.
Yes.
There's science behind it.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So give it a try.
So I would honestly say that's probably one of the most key things is just go get the spaced repetition deck or make your own and start memorizing that stuff.
Yeah. 10 minutes a day, 15 minutes a day. Everyone's got 10 to 15 minutes. And
we know. Yeah. We know that you can have a coffee at some point and take 10 minutes to do this. Make it a new habit.
I know, right? You can stack the habits. We could there's a whole other episode on this habit stacking.
Well, thanks for watching that one, and come back and check out our next question. And check out Bar Exam Toolbox if you want to reach out or learn more.
Thanks for listening, and be sure to subscribe, like, and leave us a comment if you have any other questions you would like us to answer in future episodes.